It's fine. I watched the movie a long time ago. I barely remember it. Jake's gonna walk us through it. I'm gonna remember a bunch of it, and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, dude.
We'll see.
And the movie that I don't remember that I watched, that we didn't watch today, but we're talking about today, the movie we're making me watch today.
X.
You didn't even remember the name of it? It's one fucking letter.
I was pausing for dramatic effect, guys. I
It was
didn't
a
need
joke,
Jake
because you
to-
don't remember. It's
I
one
did-
letter.
I didn't need Jake to help me. I don't need you to criticize me.
I thought you were cueing me.
No, I cue you for the director.
I felt like,
Directed by.
it felt like you pointed at me.
Directed by.
Ty West.
Who also directed.
A few other things. House of the Devil, In the Valley of Violence,
E to the D.
The Sacrament,
The V of the
The
V.
Innkeepers. At least those are the only ones. I think he has like two other older ones that like are his like first like kind of they weren't like released and stuff like that movies, but he has a couple older ones. He's kind of like
got one of those.
He's a big indie guy. He's a big, obviously even based off of this movie. This was a big theatrical release, but it was still like indie horror at its roots.
This is definitely his
Into
biggest
Indiana
movie.
Jones.
Indie as
Big indie fan.
film, making, even though this was backed by a studio.
I'm pretty sure
he has
he
the-
probably
he has the
loves
indie
Indiana
vibes.
Jones though.
What?
Probably does.
Who
Probably
does it?
does.
How come you guys didn't comment on my top 10 off the top of the head list?
Oh, I was about to. I was going to tell you on here. I liked it. I don't think Showgirl's really on your list, but I
Yeah,
liked it.
Showgirls was your goof there, but it was funny. Little,
Had a
it was-
goof.
It was fine.
No, the
list.
last one's Finding Nemo.
Ooh, okay. What I
I'm
love is that all of us had Pulp Fiction and There Will Be Blood on it, which I was happy about.
Honestly, I didn't even look at your lists before I made mine.
I love
So,
that.
I
love
didn't.
that.
I was not tainted.
I think if you like movies, I think
Taint.
Pulp Fiction is going to be
For sure.
always
100%.
going to be people's tops.
When you
100%.
asked the
And
question,
was Goodfellas on your list?
No.
Mine it was, yeah.
No, okay, I don't remember.
yeah.
But I mean, those top 10s could change at any moment. That was my in the moment top 10. If you ask me that right now, I'm sure 3 or 4 of them or 5 of them even would change.
Yeah, I'd have a couple change outs as well.
The
but-
only ones that would definitely be on there would be Adaptation, There Will Be Blood, and Pulp Fiction on all my lists.
Okay. So
Anyway.
your first top 10 movies, since this is movie podcast, this was off the top of your head, was There Will Be Blood, The Game, Adaptation, Sicario. I forgot about Sicario. The Departed. Man, that's one of my favorite movies. Pulp Fiction, Clockwork Orange, Goodfellas, Sunset Boulevard. Interesting. And The Witch. Sunset Boulevard, huh?
Dude, that's my favorite movie we've done on this podcast.
Jake.
Why number one on the list, Schwartz? Explain that.
Why is that number one? Well, the only my number one is always going to be There Will Be Blood. Nothing's ever topping that for me.
No, on the ranking. The old
What
ranking.
is my number one?
I think you had the Godfather trilogy,
Well, I mean,
which I was surprised wasn't on your list. To be honest with you, if you want to
listen,
talk about best movies ever made off the top of your head, I would think the
I
Godfather.
respect the Godfather trilogy for what it was and what it did, but it's definitely not my favorite movie.
What it was and what it do.
I just watched The Offer and then I watched The Godfather like the next day after I watched The Offer, so it was very fresh with me.
The Offer is pretty great.
I really
What?
like
Oh,
it.
The Offer's
Yeah.
making of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty
it's
awesome.
like the TV show from Albert Ruddy's perspective. He was the
I didn't think
producer.
I was gonna like the dude who played Coppola, but he did a really, really good job.
He did. All the characters were pretty good.
Yeah.
I even like the dude that did
Second.
Pacino did a good job.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Chino was
So-
in it. That was a great sound that you just made, Schwartz.
Yeah, well, Pacino as a character, so there was like a guy playing Pacino, there's a guy playing Brando, there's a guy playing Coppola, stuff like that. It was all like the main, people that were in The Godfather. Obviously, it was about the making of The Godfather, so they had to have those people.
So what
I
was
gotta watch.
what was Jake's list? Top 10?
Jake has.
He definitely had a
Now,
goof in there. I
question:
remember.
Is there no particular order?
There's
Yeah,
just
mine was no
particular
order. Mine was no
Okay,
order.
same.
yeah.
I agree. Jake's list was The Godfather, Goodfellas, No Country for Old Men, There Will Be Blood, T2,
Judgment Day.
Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, Shawshank Redemption. I mean, that's a
Oof,
great movie.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
I mean, is that not one of the best movies ever made?
Oh, definitely.
You got to put it up
Definitely
there,
is.
right?
I might have to. And Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back and Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, one best comedy of all time.
That was his goof.
I
Great
Okay.
movie, but
So you had a goof, too.
I don't know if that's totally fully goof.
You're not
but
goofing.
If I had to replace something, I don't. Maybe that would be one of the first.
So
to
you would
replace,
choose
but
Step Brothers over Talladega Nights or Anchorman?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
maybe not. Don't Look Up. Don't Look Up was great, but Step Brothers probably one of the best movies.
It is. It's a great
Top-
movie.
It's definitely in the top 10 movies of all time. Like in just a
I mean,
general.
I'm not going there.
Yeah.
But
Step Brothers?
I think it's on. Well,
Are
if-
you
I'm
retarded?
just saying, if AFI redid their top 100
Are you
list, it would
drunk
probably
right
be in
now?
the top like 3. I'm guessing.
Did
It
you
would be
go
like
off your vegan diet today?
Citizen Kane, The
Oh, God.
Godfather, Gone with the Wind, probably Step Brothers 4, probably. Maybe over Gone
Is
with
this
the
a
Wind. I'm not
routine?
sure. This is a bit, but also what I believe in my heart, and I think other people.
I
should
could
believe as well.
name 7 other movies that are funnier than Step Brothers.
I
Go ahead,
think
7,
so.
go.
7, go.
Anchorman, Talladega
1.
Nights, Dodgeball, Tropic Thunder, Pineapple Express.
Only 5 movies are maybe funnier. Arguably, he has no more. He's out of movies, guys. He's out of.
Come on, 2 more movies.
Did I say the other guys?
No.
That deserves 2 if I did.
One more. Come on, one more.
Let's see.
He's googling funny movies. I see.
No,
his phone
I'm
in his
not
hand.
looking at my list. And I already said the one
Doesn't
on my
matter.
list.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter. We all know.
whatever.
No,
And,
we all
and
know
then,
Anthony.
And then Step
We
Brothers.
all know Anthony.
I think
is a
every
hater of
Adam
Step
McKay. I
Brothers.
think Vice is funnier than Step Brothers.
Adam
Vice is pretty
McKay's a
funny.
fucking genius. We've all acknowledged that, I'm sure, at one point on this podcast or not.
Yeah, I just think Step Brothers is the worst movie he's ever made.
No way. I even watched Anchorman 2
I
the
mean,
other day.
Think
And that
okay.
was
How about the
fucking
least best?
Anchorman
What's
2
the
was
what?
Anchorman 2 was lower.
Better.
Anchorman 2 is great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that since it was in the theater, and I just watched it the other day. Fuck, that movie was hilarious.
Low
There was
key,
so much
my
I
favorite-
forgot about. so much
My
I
favorite
forgot.
part is when he's raising the shark. That was so stupid. He's
Shit like
just
that.
So dumb.
And then like the newsroom fight scene was like, obviously the first one was great, but like I forgot all the people that were in this new one.
Yeah.
There's no like
And
Was
Kristen
Kelsey
Wiig-
Grammer in
Kristen
this one?
Wiig was pretty amazing too, as like the other brick. She was awesome.
Just
Yeah, that
not
was good.
answering the phone.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
That's that. I think that one might be funnier than the first one.
I mean, I'm not going there, but it's good.
I think it might be
laughs
funnier than
per
the first
minute
one.
maybe. Laughs per minute,
And
maybe.
and it has a more of a message than the first one that I enjoyed of the whole CNN kind of play on, basically like
Sure.
It did. It had the more
watching
that
car chases instead of
Yeah.
actual news.
Well,
Like,
Adam McKay. was-
24-hour news cycle. That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard.
Adam McKay also got very, very political and different in the last half of his career. You know what I mean? He's doing
Definitely.
Succession.
Was
alone
Anchorman
another
2
one.
the bridge between the hard
No,
comedy?
the other guys. The other guys was the bridge.
Yeah, I think the other
okay.
guys, the other guys was
Yeah.
very was
'Cause
subtly
Anchorman 2. Yeah, you're right. I forgot, you're right.
political
because
in
it went
about Wall Street. and shit.
Anchorman. It went
Yeah.
Anchorman, Talladega Nights, Step Brothers, other guys, Anchorman 2. That's how the order it came out.
So
It-
Anchorman 2 was closer to the seriousness, so it's almost was.
But it
Anchorman
was
2, yeah,
it's
they were both
ridiculous.
they're both there, yeah.
Remember in the first one when Luke Wilson
Genius.
keeps getting his arms ripped off?
or Adam McKay's great fucking cameo as Dirty Mike in The Boys. Like,
Oh,
that was-
yeah. We will fucking that Prius. It's called a soup kitchen.
Dirty Soup Kitchen. Oh god, they're hilarious, man.
Okay. Lastly, my
All right,
hold
Go
on, my
list.
top 10 movies: Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Matrix, Interstellar, Pulp Fiction, Tropic Thunder, No Country for Old Men, T2, Salt and Sea, There Will Be Blood, and Showgirls. And Showgirls was a goof.
Salt
If I
and
had to
Sea.
pick
I'm not
interesting
sure.
one.
Yeah, what is Salt and Sea?
Salt and
I don't
Sea
remember
is
what
a
that is.
JJ Caruso.
My second
joint.
favorite JJ.
My second favorite person that graduated from that college.
I can think of 2
Pepperdine
JJs I like
University.
better.
The second favorite director from Pepperdine University.
Shout out to Jack Cannon.
Shout out to JC, my Lord and Savior. Yeah, he it's starring the dude
Val Kilmer.
who had throat cancer,
Val Kilmer.
starring Val Kilmer and Vincent D'Onofrio. I think it
Oh,
has a
yeah.
Skarsgård in it. It's got
Todd
that.
There's
Skarsgård.
a lot of Skarsgårds out there. They're all good.
I think Luis Guzman is in it. At one
Love him.
point.
Love that guy.
Yeah, it's an early '90s film.
Okay,
Great
yeah.
movie.
Guzman's probably in it if it's in the 90s. Yeah. for sure.
Yeah, it's about a jazz trumpet player.
It's a crime movie, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery, kind of like that's kind of his style. Mystery.
Yeah.
He did the same dude who did like Suburbia. I think the
Interesting.
what's it
I
called?
don't think he did Suburbia.
And are you
Not Suburbia. Yeah,
And you
no, not
genuinely think it's
He did
up there?
Disturbia.
Disturbia.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
which was a great
Suburbia.
fucking movie.
Was that the LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
great
LaBeouf.
fucking movie. Basically a
Shia
play on Rear
LaBeouf.
Window, but still great.
Right, right. okay.
Actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf.
So that was JJ Caruso.
JJ
And-
Caruso. Yeah,
So
he
Salt
also
and Sea,
made.
Is that genuine? Is that really on your list?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's
He-
always been one of my favorite.
Anthony
movies.
talks about that movie a lot, actually. I've
Why
heard
haven't you
talk
made us
about that a
watch it?
lot.
I've never seen or heard of it. I'm sure
About
I've
to.
heard of it, kind of, but yeah. that
We
lo-
about to.
Good.
I don't know. I didn't even
Looking
think of it
forward
until
to
you
it.
just said it.
My next movie is a crime movie, actually, too.
All right, we'll talk about that at the end. No, I'm
Anyway, yeah, let's
Sorry.
go. Let's get into X.
I just say we brought up Val Kilmer for a moment. I
Yeah.
just saw Top Gun Maverick, and I was surprised by how much I liked it.
Yeah. Don't say anything because I mean, not
Did
that
you
there's
see
gonna
it
be
in
like
like
crazy
a-
spoilers.
In like a big ass theater, like Chinese theater or anything.
No, it was. I mean, it was a nice theater. It was an AMC, one of the nicer ones with like the reclining seats. And everything. I kind of wish I would have seen it like in the what is the Dolby
Dome
surround.
would have been awesome if it was
Dome would
still
have been
around.
dope. It was
Yeah.
just like this movie has been out for like over a month, and the theater I went to was still fucking packed. Every
Bro, it's
day
made
I
$1
looked-
billion.
It's every day it's packed. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And it's
Yeah.
I've been out that
Is-
long.
Tom Cruise, the greatest actor of all time,
No, but this was a surprisingly
greatest
very good
action
movie.
star of all time. Name
No.
4 better action stars than Tom Cruise.
Schwarzenegger.
Jackie Chan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone,
Stallone,
Jason
yeah.
Statham.
I'm not putting my finger up for Stallone or
What?
Statham,
What?
really.
The
Over
Rockies?
Rocky, dude.
yeah, terrible,
Expendables.
terrible.
fucking
The
kidding
the
me?
blood movies, First Blood, Second Blood, Third.
I don't
Blood,
put him
Fourth
over
Blood.
Tom.
Oh
don't
yeah,
put
the
them over Tom,
Rambo
right?
movies. Are you
Don't
fucking
put
kidding
them
me?
Rambos.
over Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise
Judge
is one
Dredd.
action franchise. Stallone's got 3.
No,
But he's
Cruise is like a bunch
bad.
of Cruise is a bunch on a bunch of shit.
He's not bad.
He's so
Sylvester
bad.
Stallone.
He's
Schwarzenegger
really
ain't
bad
good.
at
Schwarzenegger ain't
acting.
good. Statham ain't good. Jackie Chan ain't good, but
I
they're
didn't.
awesome.
I did not raise my finger for Statham.
Steven
Jackie
Seagal's
Chan's
better
the
than
man.
fucking. Steven Seagal's got his own action
Steven
franchises too.
Seagal.
Matt
Steven
Damon
Seagal is an
as a-
actual
is
cop,
better than
Damon-
and he's
Cruise.
Matt
900
Damon
pounds.
is probably the most overrated actor of all time.
Matt
is
Damon-
kinda the dude.
You
Matt Damon in the
mispronounced-
Bourne movies are pretty rad.
You mispronounced underrated. You said overrated. I
No,
think
he's
I just,
overrated.
I just wanted to correct.
He's
It's,
fucking
I got
overrated.
confused
it's
for a
pronounced
second.
underrated.
He's overrated.
He's saying it wrong again.
No, I'm not. He's overrated.
Matt, who are we talking about again? Because we're
Matt
not talking
Damon.
about Tom Cruise.
Matt Damon.
Damon.
Matt Damon's best
Shit,
role
dude,
was The
fast.
Departed.
Have you ever seen Ocean's 11, 12, and 13?
Yeah,
Actually,
but he
haven't.
wasn't even the best in it. You've never seen the Ocean's movies?
No.
Oh my god. Well, one of my picks is going to be Ocean's 11 for sure because that's a great movie.
We need to do a Soderbergh. I've been
We do,
waiting for
we do.
Soderbergh. Yeah, that guy's an interesting director.
The
Sure
first one's
is.
pretty amazing. Pretty great movie.
It's amazing.
One,
Second
one or
one's
11.
okay, and the third one's actually really, really good too.
I think the
Alright.
second one's my personal favorite because I like the setting of it, but I realize that it's definitely the weakest of the 3, but it's definitely my personal favorite. It's just funny. It's kind of them just walking around, just being
It's
weird, which
goofy.
is kind of cool.
Yeah, which they're,
But the
they're all
third one's
goofy.
got Al Pacino in it though, so it's fucking great.
And they bring back Andy Garcia.
Oh yeah. First one's great though. I actually forgot how good the first one is. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's really good.
That was my intro to Casey Affleck.
Mhm.
It's the first movie I ever saw
Yeah,
him
he
in.
was great.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
Affleck. I
Good-
just
good guy.
watched. Bless you. What did I
Thank
just watch? I just watched it.
Was it Manchester by the Sea? Because that's his best acting work.
Oof.
Uh,
I don't know.
it
Gone
was-
Baby Gone's pretty good.
Nicole
That is a
Kidman.
good one.
Oh,
and-
Oh,
Die
Die
For.
for You.
yeah,
To Die For.
Die
to
For, yeah.
die for. I just watched
Yeah, it's
that.
a good
Casey,
movie.
Casey Affleck is in that. Dude's been
Yeah.
around for a
I
while.
forgot about him and Joaquin were
Yeah.
like kids in that movie.
Joaquin
Oh,
doesn't
he-
even
I gotta,
look like
I gotta
a
watch that
Joaquin.
again.
Casey Affleck directed the Joaquin documentary.
He did. That was great.
Yeah.
They done been friends.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Casey Affleck was married to Joaquin's sister for a while.
mhm.
Who? Leaf
Leaf Phoenix or River Phoenix.
No,
third.
her
definitely
name.
wasn't River. I remember
Sabrina
that
Phoenix.
Leaf was Joaquin's original name. Her name is
Who cares?
one. Jupiter.
Meadow. Is it Meadow?
Nintendo Phoenix.
It might be Meadow. They're all like
Speaking of
nature.
Meadow, for some reason on like my Instagram stories or reels, I'm getting a lot of Sopranos clips lately, which is pretty funny. I enjoy them.
Yeah, you're
You
big
got
into,
them a
you're big into Italian stuff.
I
So that's
hate
probably why.
Italian stuff, but I like Tony Soprano.
He's good.
Dude,
Wanna be his
that's
friend.
That's one of the best characters in history of television. That and
Freezing
Walter
cold in
White.
here.
I say Walter White and him, two best characters.
Old Wally boy. All right, you want to talk about X? You got to remind me what this movie is about.
Yes, let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Should we do the word stuff? I'll give it a word.
The movie you're making me watch today is that. Oh, that word stuff.
You can. I mean, you want to do the beginning again?
The movie you're making me watch today. Yeah, well, you want to stop recording? Just delete all the first half.
No, the first half was good. It was fun banter. I know how much you hate banter, but let's leave it in. You don't have time
Not a
to
big
edit things.
banter guy.
Not a big banter guy.
Hey, right. What's he think about banter? What's he looking for banter or what?
I'm looking for fucking excuses.
someone to banter with?
Now it's
We're
hot
right
in here.
here. My word is balanced.
Jake, you got a movie for the movie you're making me watch today, which is X, directed by Steven Soderbergh.
X 2022 Ty West. My word is balanced.
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 You have to explain that one a little more. What do you mean? I
Mine's-
get what balanced means, but why balanced?
There was equal amount of build and payoff. There was a good balance between like artistic integrity and like
We
the
just
gore
say
and
the
slash.
word. I think we just say
Okay.
the word.
No, I
first.
wondered what the balance was. All right, what's your word, Anthony?
Sepia.
The fuck does
Sepia?
that mean?
That's a color tone, isn't it?
Yeah, it reminded me of like old timey shit. I like the
Okay.
way they
Yeah.
shot it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go what's the word where you celebrate something? I forget the word I'm looking for.
Party?
Mazel tov.
Those are two great words for celebrating something. But when you make something in like the vein of something,
You already said
Mocking.
no, but nicer than
Mimicry?
mocking. No, close.
Mimicry?
We're getting closer.
celebrate. Monumental.
No, why can't I think of this fucking word? I'm a goddamn moron.
Magical.
Um,
You could duplicate things with magic.
oh God,
Sexy.
no.
That doesn't
When
start
you-
with M.
It
Wait,
was
you-
kind of a sexy movie though.
It was definitely sexy.
That's
Mia,
not a good
word.
Mia-
Super sexy.
Mia Goth is fucking. Mia Goth is super sexy.
Just walking around in those overalls.
I'm just gonna go. What's the fucking word? When you make something in honor of something, it's
Shrine.
I don't think
None
the
of us
word
come
you're
up with
thinking
this
of
word.
starts with an M.
No, I didn't say it starts with an M. There's no. It doesn't have to start with.
I
an
don't
M.
know how we
You
came up
did.
with that.
No, I
I
didn't.
thought you did say that.
We were
No,
guessing M words. That's why we
What's
all
the
had M
fucking
words.
word?
Hold on.
When you homage. So this
Homage.
movie
There's
is
an
an
M.
homage. It's a movie. That's
There's an
yeah. There's an
M
M in it, but it
sound.
starts with an O.
It actually starts
it's
with
an
an
homage.
H.
It's a homage.
Homage. Yes. Homage.
Oh, homage. Oh, you're right,
The
you're
H
right.
is silent.
So this movie is a homage to
Homage. The
Texas
H is
Chainsaw
silent.
Massacre
I think it's a
and all
silent
those
H.
types of movies.
I think I remember describing this, and I never saw Debbie Does Dallas. It was like Debbie Does Dallas meets Dallas Chainsaw or meets Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Because
Yeah,
I
sure.
think
Reminded me of
Debbie Does Dallas
Texas
is like
Chainsaw.
going. She's like trying to be famous or something within the movie.
It's about a porn star, yeah.
It's a porn about a porn star.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like what those were. This was very much like
Pornographic.
Chainsaw
is
Massacre.
another
I mean,
good
this
word.
is Texas Chainsaw Massacre without Leatherface. Honestly, it's just another group of weirdos.
Yeah, it's like if his parents were only the ones that survived, and they're just like, well, let's just keep fucking and killing people.
Fun fact: they shot a prequel to this movie that's
Yeah,
coming
they
out
did.
later this year. That's about Pearl and her husband.
Apparently, it was the trailer was in theaters after credits, but I can't find it online now. Apparently, the trailer. They already filmed it.
Do you know that Mia Goth also played Pearl in makeup?
I didn't
was
know
her.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that watching it the first time though.
I didn't know
so-
that either.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
All right, Jake. Walk us through this movie as if I'd never seen it before.
Okay, this movie starts out with these two police officers coming across this house that they find. We see just two dead bodies laying on the ground. We don't really know what's going on. They're kind of talking about how it's this massacre, and then then we like notice that they're watching this TV show about this preacher's preaching the word of God.
Oh, Is this Pulp
And
Fiction
then-
we're watching?
Sort of. And then it cuts to 24 hours earlier. It's one of those movies where we meet our main character. Her name is Maxine, and she's doing coke in some sort of dressing room. Looks kind of like a strip club. Thank you. I don't know. Now I'm pulling you. I don't remember words. Yeah, it looks like kind of what the strip club would look like, and they're like, all right, it's her and her what seems to be manager / boyfriend, and he's like, let's go, let's get ready, and they're talking about her becoming a star, and she does a line of coke, goes outside, and we meet the rest of the cast. It's these people just hanging out by a van. It's a couple of another couple porn stars and a couple of filmmakers, and then this manager is also like the producer of the movies, the boyfriend, all that. And they go off in the
Well,
van.
hold on. Let's talk about these characters because they're all pretty different. So
They
her
do,
manager / boyfriend / EP of the movie is the guy who owns the strip club or runs the strip club.
It's the older guy.
The older dude. She, our main character, is one of the stars of the movie who's also dating this dude who, from the very beginning, you realize is trying to build a life for herself. That's not what she has, and she's using porn to do it. The other porn stars, one played by Brittany Snow, who's a former Disney character, which I didn't know until after I watched this movie. And she's one other stripper at the strip club who is totally down to have a better life and make money and do all that good shit. And then the male porn star is played by Kid Cudi, which is pretty cool. He in his first horror movie role. And then the other two people in the car are the DP, director, and the sound mixer, who are a couple. And this dude's trying to make like an avant-garde porno, something that he can make a name for himself with. It doesn't have to be like other pornos. He's going to make the classy avant-garde porno. And also,
It's the director, dude.
Yeah, this movie also takes place
guy.
in 1979. By the way, we got to mention that.
I didn't look it up. Did they? What did they shoot this on? Because it had old. That's kind of what I meant by sepia. It had old timey vibes.
I think it definitely. Actually, no, I'm gonna look it up because I think it definitely had a couple different film stocks. Because it started out with a different aspect ratio too. I think it was like 4:3 in the first shot.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it definitely had a film look to it, but I mean, not saying they could just add that in post. So
yeah. I didn't even look it up.
Yeah, definitely had that like sort of like about this director.
They shot this on the Venice. They shot this on the Venice.
Oh, okay, so yeah,
so it's all digital. Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
For sure.
Looked good. It looked good. It was
director,
convincing.
Ty West, he has a good way of making a movie look like when it was based upon. Because there's another movie he did called The House of the Devil that was kind of supposed to be like a kind of one of those 80s babysitter horror films. That if you watch that without knowing it was made in like 2009 and maybe say Greta Gerwig wasn't like one of the main characters in it, you would think it was just an 80s horror film just by watching it alone. So,
that was the point though, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I would say the same about this. If you just at first glance, it looks like period. It looks period.
I mean, it is because it takes place in 1979. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our characters. Did we talk about the girl? She's a little kind of standoffish. She's quiet.
Yeah, that's true. So the director's girlfriend is basically like the sound person of the set.
That's right.
And she's just helping them out. She's very quiet. They refer to her as Church Mouse because she doesn't ever talk. Yeah. And like one of the first things, I don't remember what the first thing she said, but it doesn't seem like she like even said much till. Well, they were at a gas station at one point, and I actually liked that scene because they started talking about how that was when we sort of learn more about these characters, like when the director's starting to film the guy putting the gas in the van, stuff like that.
Yeah,
and how he's shooting. The one actress was like, "Oh, you can shoot this out of order," and he's like, "Yeah, and I'll make it all artsy later." Blah blah blah. So that was kind of. I feel like that was the Ty West character. Like that was the meta part of this movie, which this movie had very meta vibes to it at times.
And then the porn star gave him a little tip. She's like, shoot it from low so it looks like his dick.
Yeah. Which made I remember thinking while I was watching it the first time that I'm like, why don't they show the actual gas thing going into the hole? I'm like, he should have shot that because it's a porn movie. That would have made sense. And then right after I thought that, like the girl was like, "Oh, why don't you make it look like his dick?" And I'm like, obviously this guy sucks at making
You ever
films.
shot porn, Jake?
I haven't. But I could. Well, I mean, not other people. No.
You just film yourself jerking off all the time.
Yeah, I mean, those are for me. For
You
like,
film it yourself in the mirror, or do you like selfie?
I mean,
It's fun. It's fun to watch
I-
yourself jerk off. You come at the same time.
different angles so I can make it look all artistic and stuff.
That's funny.
You fly a drone sometimes over yourself?
Drone porn? You know that's out there.
Oh, there's gotta be
You know that's out there.
higher budget stuff for sure.
I would look
I
it
mean,
up
it
on
doesn't
my
even have to be high
computer,
budget,
but
you would
I don't
think.
look porn up on my
You
computer.
come at the same time.
You know what I mean? You don't have to
That's
time
funny.
it out. That's me.
Really into myself.
Hey, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect anybody else to love you? Jerking off in mirrors and shit. Farting in a bathtub, laughing your ass off.
All right, so keep going.
All right. Yeah. So we learn they're making a porn. They get to this house in the middle of nowhere. It's this old farm kind of property. And when that executive producer got we'll start learning characters' names real quick. Might as well do that. When we meet the
Yeah.
Wayne. Wayne is the main executive producer / Maxine's boyfriend. He goes up to the house. This old man greets him with a shotgun and was like, "What the fuck do you want?" He's like, "Do you remember me? We talked on the phone, blah, blah, blah." And then it's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And this old man, basically, he's very old, very aged. You can tell probably has some sort of form of dementia or something. He shows the group the house, and he's annoyed by the fact that he's like, "You never mentioned your friends. I don't like the looks of you people, looking at their, scantily clad clothing." And by the way, this is the house that we saw in the beginning of the movie. I think that's pretty obvious. So we kind of realize like something's gonna go down there. And
I'm listening.
that's it. That's the end of the movie. Oh wait, no, there's more. So he says he's mentioned something about his wife is in the house, so he wants some discretion. So basically tells everyone to behave themselves.
I think and it's evident
all
at this
right,
point he doesn't really know what they're doing.
Yeah, even the what the girlfriend of the director, she the church mouse girl,
Sound mixer.
she even asks, the sound mixer. And then like
Obviously not.
he's one of those you got to ask forgiveness is an permission type guys.
And they're also the name
So
of the
tell
porno
that.
that they're shooting is called The Farmer's Daughter.
That's true.
Hence the
That's true.
location.
There you go.
So hot.
Either you guys watch this fun
I
movie?
did.
All right. Go on. So they get to the house. The old man pulls a shotgun on him. Fucking he uses his skills. Listen to him, man. I called you the other day. We're coming here to hang out. And he's like,
Did
"Bring
you
friends."
listen?
And he gives him
What I just
yeah, no, kind of
Okay.
more.
I
And
just
then he
wanna make
fucking-
sure you're listening.
and then he gives me, he's like, "We're gonna go into the house now." And that's when you find out the girl, church mouse girl, goes, "Does this guy know what we're doing?" Then he says no. And then he says, "All right, let's get into it." And they start banging. They start fucking hard.
Go on.
That's it. That's the end.
Fun fact, this is borderline, not even borderline, this is the reason I didn't watch this on the airplane, is because I literally
that's a good
had it
idea.
up and I was sitting next to a young child and then a mother with nursing a baby. I wasn't about to pull essentially a pornographic movie on there.
You just tap the kid. You're like,
Check it out.
"Hey, you guys want to watch X?"
You could have watched like 20 minutes of this movie. And it was,
I just do this the whole time, put my hand over his eyes just during the.
you just tilted up toward like really like all.
Also, I don't have headphones, so don't listen. It's pretty graphic at certain points.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Full blown
mean-
softcore porn.
Pretty much. Yeah, we don't see any D or V from what I recall, but
A lot of T's.
a lot of T's.
Lots of T's, lots
Good
of A's.
no pee, no penetration either. So it's not full blown porn, but it's there's lots of
Softcore.
sex scenes.
This is
lots of sex
softcore
scenes for
porn.
sure.
So they start shooting the porno. Brittany Snow's character and Kate Cuddy's character go first, and then one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Mia Goth's character Maxine goes and walks off to the river or the lake and goes for a swim, and you see the alligator almost see her, and then she barely makes it out of the water. That shit was dope. That shot was awesome. I think pretty sure that was a drone shot. That was pretty
good.
cool.
They
was
didn't
good.
have drones
suspense
in the
builder.
70s.
Yeah. Oh, well, another thing we forgot to mention is when the guy in the beginning mentions don't bother my wife, Mia Goth looks up and sees this crazy weirdo looking old lady in the window that just stares down at her, which is obviously the guy's wife. And that's when the eerie music starts to play. So you're supposed to know then that this bitch is crazy.
Indeed.
Indeed.
So yeah, basically Mia Goth is out exploring while everyone else is banging. Will's just the Brittany Snow's character and Kid Cudi's character just banging the whole time they're filming those scenes. At one point, I think they start looking for Maxine, but Maxine, why does she go to she goes to the house, but I forgot why she goes up to the house.
The old lady, when she comes back out of the river, they just waves at her and asks her to like goes like this. And
That's
she's being
right.
nice. And she the house and she has the conversation. The old lady offers her lemonade, and that's when you realize right off the bat that this old lady, there's something going on. And that's what I liked about this movie is that the motive for what happens is just the fact that this old woman is sick of being old. She wants to be young. She wants to have the young life she had, the beauty and the energy and the fun of everything. And I think she's just super jealous.
She's just fucking jelly.
What's going on? Yeah, she's just she sees Mia Goth's character and it's like, yo, this chick's beautiful. She's young. She's living life. She's doing what she wants to do, and I think that's what triggers it. And you realize that right there. And I thought like, oh, that's fucking interesting. It's a different approach to what the horror movie is. You know what I mean? It's pretty. So for a movie that's not very original in what it's representing, it also does have that original part of it, which I thought was cool. So Jake's word balanced is a good word.
See, I knew it would work. I knew it would come around. I know you'd figure it out.
Yeah.
See, yeah, this type of genre doesn't always have those types of messages, and I appreciate when they do.
For sure. And I thought that was cool. So they have this conversation, and then she weirds her out somehow. I think like she touches her, and Mia Goth's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah. And then the husband comes home. She's like, "Get out of here. This will be our secret." And she's like, "What's going to be our secret?" She's like, "You got to go." So the husband comes in. She runs away. And that's when her boyfriend, the producer, is like, "Where have you been? We've been looking for you." And then cut to it's her time. It's her turn to film a porno, and they go into the barn where the cows are, and Kid Cudi bangs her in the barn. And that's when you realize that the sound mixer / church mouse girl is getting a little intrigued by what's going on, starting to like it, starting to be like, "Oh damn, there's actually some cool shit here."
Because at first, I forgot to, or I don't think we mentioned at first. She's not only, they call her a prude and they call her church mouse, but
she's a weirdo.
She's not a weirdo. She was quiet and she was like, she was pretty against what was going on at first. So we saw her kind of change halfway through to the point where she.
Yeah, well, she says that to her boyfriend in the beginning. She's like, "What? Like, why are we making a porno?" And he's like, "Well, I believe that you can make a porno that transcends what a porno is. You know, it can be artsy, it could be commercial in a way that other ones haven't." And I think that goes back to your Debbie Does Dallas reference too, Jake. Is back then, before that movie, pornos were never mainstream. I think that movie is what made pornos mainstream.
Yeah, and I think this was the movie that was trying to almost prove that for this sort of horror genre, going back to what we were just saying too. So that character was kind of talking about this type of stuff.
Yeah.
That it can be good. Like the horror genre is like almost looked at negatively, and oftentimes I think recently in years it's been elevated a bit by certain filmmakers. Like we often talk about like Astor and Jordan Peele and guys like that.
Rob Zombie.
I think
Rob Zombie did not
tried and made it, and I think
what are you talking about?
Honestly, we're talking about Ari Aster, Robert Eggers, Jordan Peele, fucking
Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie. Like, sorry, man. I think he's one of the examples of why horror films are looked at.
Listen, I love Rob Zombie films,
purposely
but
make those shit movies.
He does not make elevated movies. You can't can't compare those. They're not cerebral films. They're more like this movie. And I think this movie is an homage to Rob Zombie movies in a way, because Rob Zombie movies were homaging Texas Chainsaw and shit like that. And this is doing the same type of thing.
This was definitely like a clear
Word. I was
Texas
kidding,
Chainsaw
but
homage,
Jake, you better watch what you say about Rob Zombie.
yeah, fuck that guy.
He's not the reason for nothing, except
That was
for
kind of what I
making
was
entertaining millions.
That's what I was just saying last week. This is kind of my answer to your haunted world of El Super Beast.
But this is a very Rob Zombie-esque movie, Jake. Like Rob Zombie could have made this movie. The only difference would have been is that it would have been more gratuitous.
It would have lacked depth. Come on.
Did
Yeah.
you see Devil's
It would have been more
Have you
gratuitous.
seen Devil's Rejects though? Devil's Rejects was pretty great.
It also would have had Sherry
did,
Moon
and I
Zombie
think
in it.
Like,
Yes,
yeah,
Sherry Moon Zombie
fun.
would have been Mia Goth's character for sure.
For sure.
And yeah, she's just unlikable. Mia Goth's character, at least she's like, it's interesting because she
Hater.
was never portrayed.
What if Rob
as,
Zombie
like,
was
a
right
great
here?
person, you know, is he?
What if we get Rob Zombie to come on the podcast? Would you?
I would go
Would you-
dig through the ditches and burn through the.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one
He'd be like,
time
"I
I
haven't
met,
heard that before."
I met Spider One, his little brother once, and that guy was a
Spider
dick.
One.
Yeah,
Who the fuck is-
Spider-Man?
stupid
the
name?
dude that was like Power Man 5000's lead singer.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that guy was a douche. But
No, this is what it's like when worlds
yeah,
collide.
yeah, exactly.
That was a good song.
That was a good song, but
Power Man 5000 was dope.
don't meet your heroes.
I saw him. Oh, he was a dick.
Not-
He was a
not-
douche. You said?
He was a douche.
Yeah. What? Who were you? Who were you going up to him? What was the situation?
I was.
You're some idiot going. Yeah, I just want like a world collide.
No, but I was with.
Power Man.
I was with a guy that was like I was doing a public access TV shoot. and
Loser.
I was one of like a 2-man interview team, and the guy I was with was like all like.
Oh, you were doing public radio, huh?
Yeah, I
And he
was doing
didn't give a
public
shit
access
about you.
bullshit. He didn't give a shit about us. And I remember him even emailing my like producer saying we were like unprofessional when
Oh, he
I
went
was-
far. He
I
went
was-
like further.
yeah. I don't know if he did or his dude did or something, but yeah, he went to the point of like making me like look bad to my boss because I was kind of the one who was supposed to be running the shoot, but the dude that was like working with me was like a fucking little fanboy, and I think he basically like blamed me, and I'm not a blame other people type person.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like took it as it
Yeah,
was, and like
it's
it kind of got
whatever.
back to me of like, but he was just like off the bat, he was very like unwelcoming, very like acted like we were wasting his time, like
And then this other
one of
dude
the
was
first things
super like
how long is this gonna take? And
pumped to
Yeah.
talk to him and shit, like way
Yeah, and-
overzealous.
yeah, pretty much. And he was like, I remember being like him being older than me too, and I'm like now because I was like a high school kid, and I was just doing shit to public access TV.
Mr. Power Man.
Yeah, and like the other dude was way more immature, and yeah, I think it just got back to me. So.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yep, Power Man 5000 guy's a dick. I think he might be dead now.
Maybe, hopefully,
Maybe.
whatever. The thing is,
Rob
he's-
Zombie's
you
still
don't know
alive.
what he went through that day. You were probably the
True.
last people he had to talk to, and
Probably.
you're
He
some
was probably
public
the only one, and I
access
was-
fucking nothing. And
Yeah.
he just talked to Rolling Stone, and now he's got to
Probably.
talk to Jake Golden.
Yeah, he was just a dick. You got to treat people equally. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe his
He's a dick.
fucking girlfriend just died in a horrific car accident,
Could have.
like
Can
right
hope.
before that.
But
And he-
if
You know,
maybe,
maybe
But-
he just murdered someone, and it's on his mind.
or maybe he was just mad because he's been living his brother's shadow for his whole life.
Ooh,
Rob Zombie
well, yeah.
Ooh.
So he killed himself? Did he go Tony Scott or what?
I don't know. That'd be funny if that was the case. Let's look it up.
Did he die right after your
Cares?
interview? Was it your fault?
No, it was years later. I don't think I had anything to do with it.
You don't
I'm
know that.
almost
Though.
certain I had nothing to do with it.
You don't know that for a fact, though.
No,
So
he's
Church
still alive.
Mouse,
It's
oh,
fine.
bummer.
He's still alive.
Church Mouse says she wants to do porn.
Yeah. Yeah, that was after having like a conversation. They were all hanging out and doing like little bonfire vibes. Or playing a song. They played Landslide on acoustic guitar, which
That's
was
right.
a nice little moment.
That's right. Kid Cudi on guitar.
Yep.
Right.
And then she started asking about questions of like, doesn't it bother you that that's your girlfriend and she's banging this dude? And they're all like, nah, everyone, free living, yada yada, kind of that spirit, and everyone kind of was on board with that. And then that's when she was like, all right, I want to be in the movie.
Yeah. I
And
want
then
to shoot a scene.
the boyfriend was immediately the boyfriend who's also the director was like, no. And
Yeah, he was not for it.
he was not for it for, his reasons out loud were because that doesn't make sense because you can't just add a character to the movie. But obviously you could tell he didn't want
He doesn't want to watch his girlfriend get fucked.
Kid Cudi, yeah. So,
Kid Cudi's got Duraflame in this movie apparently.
What the hell's Duraflame?
Duraflame, like a log.
yeah, baby's arm.
You know what I'm saying? You ever see a Duraflame log before? That's what's in Kid Cudi's pants.
I get the reference now.
I was just thinking about something big.
Yep.
Cylindrical.
So he gets mad, and he has a little conversation with the
Got Pringles can.
there you go. This conversation with the executive producer, and
The
then he's
normal one is not the fun size.
Look, man, she's gonna do it regardless.
But
if you
fun
say
size is
no
okay
now."
too.
Whatever you gotta tell yourself, Anthony.
Fun size is fine. Sorry, you were trying to talk through my joke. All right, go ahead. What were we talking about?
You were trying to joke through my talking.
What else is long and cylindrical? Dude's got a water tower in his pants. Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Keep going, Jake.
Liter of cola.
This is a great audience. It's a great audience over here.
Yeah. The where was I? Yeah. The director is all pissed off because his girlfriend wants to get in there. And I don't know, the executive producer talks him in to the thing, and Anthony is too distracting visually.
He basically just tells him, like, listen,
There you
dude, she's
go.
a
Schwartz,
girl
take
who's
over.
gonna do whatever she wants
Yep.
either way. And if you don't let her do it now, she's just gonna bang a bunch of dudes and you're gonna
Yeah.
hate her for it.
Let her do it.
So
Let her do it when
he
she
does
wants
it.
to, and you can have a little more control over it, essentially, so she doesn't do it out of spite and be angry.
and then
at you.
she does it, and then it cuts to this everybody sleeping. The director dude's in the shower crying and decides to say fuck everybody and leave. And this is where the mayhem starts, because as he tries to get out of there in the van that they drove up in, Pearl, the old lady from the beginning, is standing in the road. And he goes up to her and he's like, "You okay, Pearl?" And she stabs this motherfucker in the throat. And then he drops to the ground and
Stab.
he's like, "What are you doing, Pearl?" And she repeatedly stabs him. And it's a really cool scene because the blood splatters all over the headlights and the red light is everywhere. And also he's listening to "Nobody Fear the Reaper," or fuck that song's called,
Yeah,
however that
Don't
goes.
Fear the
Don't
Reaper.
fear the Reaper.
Don't Feel the Reaper. And
Don't
that's
feel the
playing through
Reaper.
this. That's going through this whole thing. And she
Just
then,
cowbell through the whole thing.
after killing him pretty grossly by stabbing him probably like 60 times, starts doing like a dance in front of the red fucking blood splattered lights. That was like, "Oh, this bitch is crazy."
She
And then what
mentioned she used
happens?
to dance before.
So is she doing like seances? Is this like a voodoo
No.
situation?
Nah,
She's
she's
just trying to
wackadoo.
live, dude.
She's just
a
a
wacky.
wackadoo.
She's a
Yeah.
wackadoo.
She's not
Yeah.
like drinking the
Wackadoo-doo.
blood or anything, bathing in it like
No.
Marie Antoinette or whatever, whoever used to do that.
Nope.
Not, is it before or after
wild.
this where she tries to fuck her husband? And it's really awkward.
That's
Old
way
person
later.
thing.
That's way later.
I think there's that happens twice. There's a
Oh yeah,
part
she
where
tries
he,
to,
where he
and
says
he
no,
tells
and
her
then later he's like,
that was
"Yeah,
right
okay."
before it. Actually, right before it.
Yeah, it was right
She
before
goes, "Let's
that,
have
yeah.
sex." He's like, "You know I can't because I have a heart problem."
My heart.
And then that's when she kills him. I think that was the final
Yeah,
trigger
that's
of
wild.
her starting to kill people.
Yeah, this lady just
She
needs
couldn't
dick.
fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Was
she just wants
she-
to be young.
Yeah, who doesn't?
needs to live.
That's what this movie's all about, man.
Yeah.
Wanting to be young.
I realized
And being
after
young.
this, I've picked like a weird series of old ladies trying to get fucked movies, like Harold and Maude, The Graduate, and then this, and then I don't know. Are there any other ones?
You got a thing for older chicks.
Yeah, I guess so.
Shout out to Jake's lady.
Yeah.
His old lady.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A little older.
Well, isn't that what they
She's
say?
good.
Your old lady? Like that's just a term for a
Jake.
wife, right? Or
Mhm.
whatever.
Keep coming.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Yeah, I love her. She's
Oh,
great.
how old is your lady?
She's 10 years older than me.
Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah. So
Cool.
Maybe I do have a thing for old chicks, or older chicks.
Well, she's not old. Your lady's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
Pearl.
Yeah.
You're not dating Pearl here.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what
I'm
happens
gonna
then?
start calling her Pearl. Hey
that's
Jake,
the-
how's
that's the-
Pearl?
That's like such a perfect old lady name too.
Anytime I think
Pearl.
of Pearl, I just think of Adam McKay's daughter in the first Funny or Die skit of Pearl.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think of Pearl from Titanic, who's also 1,000 years old. Wait, was her
Yeah.
name Pearl?
Which one was Pearl?
Thought that was her
She
name,
had-
right?
She had a pearl necklace, right?
Yeah, no, her name was
Yeah, I bet she did.
what was her name?
That little Leo gave her a couple pearl necklaces on that trip, on that boat ride. You know what I'm
Pearl?
saying? That was a long boat ride.
Right.
They're going to America.
Rose. Her name was Rose.
Rose, Pearl, whatever.
Green jacket,
Rose.
gold.
Met an old lady named Rose. I met an old lady named Rose yesterday. She's a big Nets fan.
Makes sense.
Her and Scissorman were having a really funny conversation.
Scissorman's there? Nice. Love
Shout
that guy.
out to Dave.
Dave Scissorman.
The scissor man.
He's cool, dude.
Cool.
Edward Scissorman. Man, why that would have been a sick name instead of Dave. I'm gonna go tell him.
For your next born son.
All right, so
next
that's
movie?
that's the only kill that night, right? That she goes back in the house and the next morning.
No,
Oh, no,
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 it's
no.
all that night.
That
It all-
night,
it's all-
yeah.
It just that's just beginning of a series of events, basically.
Yeah.
This is only a 24
day, yeah.
hours worth of
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It says at the
situational
beginning.
situation.
So the girlfriend,
crazy
Church
night.
Mouse, wakes up and realizes that her dude's gone. She's going around looking for him, and then the EP dude wakes up and is like, "What you doing, Church Mouse?" And she's like, "Ah, Wally's gone. Where the fuck his name was?" And he's like, "Oh, he'll be back. He probably just went for a walk." And she's like, "No, we gotta find him." So he's like, "All right, I'll help you find him." So they start looking around and can't find him anywhere. He goes into the EP guy goes into the barn, starts looking in there, doesn't find him, and then like stupid characters in any horror movie. He looks through these peepholes, sees something on the other side, and decides to get down and look again. And he gets fucking killed with a goddamn fork. Or like a what do you call that thing? A pitchfork?
Pitchfork.
Yeah, he got killed with a
that's
pitchfork.
just
That was
Fork
pretty
to the
classic.
awesome.
face.
Texas horror
To the
movie
eyes.
death right there. You gotta.
Yeah, no,
you know,
that's cool.
if it's a horror movie at a barn, someone's gonna die with a pitchfork.
Oh
That's
yeah,
just
pitchfork's coming.
rules are rules.
Remember the end of Twister when they go into that barn and strap down to the pipes?
The guy gets his shit cut open.
No.
Oh yeah. Wait, no.
Oh, that's the other part. That's part
That's-
before it when they
yeah,
go into
that's
like
when
the
they're
slaughterhouse.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
That's they're in the park. They're in the car garage, like the
Yeah. And he gets hit
and
with
a
like a hubcap or something. Yeah,
hits him.
yeah.
Yeah. And he goes,
Twister's
"My
a
head."
Twister's a fucking great movie, man.
Fuck yes, it is. Can we
Great
talk about
movie.
Twister a little bit?
I
Maybe
barely
later.
remember Twister. Who directed
Maybe
that?
Jan de Bont, same guy directed
Jan-
Speed.
De Bont.
Yeah.
Have we done a Jan de Bont?
We've not done a Jan de Bont, but Twister would be a good pick.
All right. I'd be
I mean,
down
Bill
with that.
Paxton.
Jillian makes fun of me, and I didn't even realize it because of how much I like Twister.
Twister's an amazing movie.
She's like, "You always fucking watch Twister. If I see Twister on, I'll just flick that bitch on, watch the whole movie."
Spielberg was going to direct that, and then he just produced it.
That movie's fucking great.
I
Bill
remember,
Paxton,
like,
Philip
being
Seymour Hoffman,
scared in the theater.
Helen Hunt. Come on.
They made those tornadoes monsters. They growled
Yeah.
at you when they were ripping through barns and shit.
Right.
Thank you, George Lucas. Thank you.
I remember being young enough when that came out. And
Gary Yelways.
do you remember the,
yeah.
the scene where they were at a drive-in movie theater and they were watching The Shining?
It's
Shining.
ripped open.
And
Yeah,
it was like
it's ripped
cut to
off.
like the girls and like I started like I remember being
Epic.
scared in the movie theater thinking that they just turned The Shining on. Like and there was like an error or something in like the projector. I was like, oh my god, are we about to watch The Shining? And like getting like freaked out by it for a second, and then it blew through. I'm sure that was it's one of those movies I remember seeing in theaters, which is rare. So it was
That was a
obviously
scary
it's a good
scene.
standout. Yeah,
That
I don't know
was,
if I've seen it
that was the
since, to be
scene where the
honest with you.
guy got hit in the head.
My first theater movie was Adam's Family Values. My
You
mom
remember the first movie you saw in a theater?
Yeah, I do. I have a
I
couple
remember.
different milestones. So the first movie I saw in theater was Adam's Family Values. The first movie I saw in theaters without an adult was Clueless. And the first movie I saw in a theater that made me really get into movies was The Game. When I saw The Game, I was like, what the fuck? And that's why I think Fincher is my favorite director, because that movie changed my life. That movie made me want to make movies.
R.I.P. Fincher.
What? That dude's alive and thriving, baby.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, there was
Okay,
a few. There's a few standouts I remember seeing.
So Sixth Sense was
Twister.
Sixth Sense was another standout too, because when I saw that movie, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I agree. Sixth Sense made me when I watched Sixth Sense, I was like, I didn't know movies can fuck with you like that. Like that was like the first time it's like the movie lied to me the whole time. Like I never experienced that before.
Yeah,
But it was right there in front of your face.
Right there the whole time. There was a lot of things
Right.
in front of my face that didn't matter until the end.
So what else? So after that guy dies, what happens? I honestly forget. After that dude dies, who dies next?
All the meanwhile, while
Twister?
they're looking for the one dude, um, the old dude goes to the house, knocks on the door, and is like, he at this point he doesn't know what's going on. He just thinks
The
wife
husband I'm
wandered,
talking
the
about.
husband, yeah, he wanders
Okay.
away. Kid Cudi starts asking. He asks Kid Cudi, Kid Cudi offers
To help him find the wife.
because he was like, I think they were both Marines or something, and I think that was established at some point.
Yep.
So Kid Cudi was seems like a very stand up type dude. So he offers the help. They look around, but this is like in the swamp in the middle of the night. So there's there's looming danger. Reminder that there was an alligator we saw earlier in the movie, so we know that's out there. So they start looking. I think they circle back. They circle around. Does Kid Cudi find the car? Is that what happens in the swamp?
Somebody finds the. Does anybody find the van that this dude was just murdered in front of?
Eventually, Mia
van?
Goth gets to it, but then she sees that the tires are slashed.
Yeah. Okay.
And then she sees homeboy dead, murdered in front of it, and then she gets scared. And I think that's pretty much right before it ends, when she not kills. Well, pretty much kills the old people. But yeah, all leading up to that.
Well, we forgot
they
to
did
mention.
find a car, because they do drop hints that this has happened before. I think it's a little more clear later when the church mouse girl goes into the house. She gets trapped in the basement, and she finds like another dead body that's not connected with them, that was like chained up.
So yeah, Lorraine gets invited,
pants on.
and he puts her in the basement. You're right. We forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then he goes and talks to Kid Cudi. Right after that.
I think that was after. I think
no. I'm reading it right now. It says Lorraine and Wayne notice RJ is missing and go searching. Wayne is killed with a pitchfork. Lorraine is invited into the couple's house by Howard, who claims Pearl is missing. She asks Lorraine to retrieve a flashlight from the basement. When she does, she discovers a rotting corpse, and she gets locked in there. And then Howard approaches the house and asks Jackson to go help him locate Pearl.
Oh, okay. I don't remember how to work, but okay.
Yeah.
Either way, we got Kid Cudi's dead.
Well, he finds a submerged car in the pond, and Howard shoots him. That's what happens.
That's right. Yeah. So Kid Cudi does find the car. Yeah. Howard shoots him. Then he meets up with the girl. Lorraine, it doesn't matter. This all eventually happens. The girl Lorraine gets locked up in the basement.
All these things happen.
Everyone's dead. At some point, all the guys are dead. All the porn making guys are dead at this point. I think all the girls are still alive. So Mia Goth.
Hold on. So Bobby Lynn is the name of the girl who gets locked in the basement. She hatches her way out of the basement, and but Howard sees it, breaks her finger, and forces her back inside. And then Bobby Lynn follows Pearl to a lake and tries to guide her away from the water, because no one knows that Pearl's this crazy bitch. And then Pearl says, "You're a whore. You're a fucking porn star whore." And then the alligator eats Bobby Lynn.
Right. Bobby Lynn is Brittany Snow's character. That's Brittany the blonde. Snow. She never she was never in the house. That was all Lorraine that got her fucking hand fucked up.
Wait, which one was Lorraine? The church mouse?
Lorraine was church mouse.
Oh, okay.
Bobby Lynn's blonde girl. Bobby Lynn did go out, and I don't know why she went outside in the first place, but
because she saw Pearl and she was trying to help her.
Right. She tried to find her, and then she got pushed in the lake and got eaten by the alligator.
Yeah.
So all those people are dead.
And then Maxine and Pearl.
Is alligator possibly one of the worst ways to go?
Yeah, it's probably terrible eaten by a fucking animal like that.
Imagine you falling into water.
Would be so bad.
Falling into the water. It's kind of deep. Maybe you're a little in the middle. Maybe you're swimming. You see an alligator looking at you. 10, 15, 20 yards away. You decide, I got to get out of here. You start swimming. It starts swimming toward you. You notice it's coming. Tail wagging in the water. You see the water flapping behind it. Now you're terrified. You're swimming as fast as you can. It grabs your leg. You kick it. It grabs your other leg. Now it has both of your legs. It does a death spin, brings you to the bottom, drowns you. You're fighting the whole time. Your leg rips one of your legs off, breaks the other one. Now you're bleeding out. Bites you again. Now you can't swim. You ain't got no legs. What are you going to climb out?
You're basically drowning and getting eaten alive.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna try it. They're just gonna start swallowing you. They don't even care if you're dead. They're just gonna start swallowing you.
And the crazy part about it is there's no malice in it. They're just hungry. There's no
malice.
It's just they're just hungry.
There is malice. I'm mad.
Well, you're mad, yeah.
I'm very upset.
Sure.
It just swallows you.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Remember when John Voight was spit out by an anaconda in
He
Anaconda? Same thing, dude. Just swallowed him.
All right, so after Bobby Ling gets eaten by the alligator, Maxine sees Pearl and Howard return to the guest house and hides under one of the beds. That's when they talk about the murders and then start to bang on the bed, which is probably one of the most disturbing scenes I've ever thought about in a movie, because you consider what just happened, what this girl just witnessed, and then this old crazy ass couple. We're talking 80-year-old people here.
We're old.
Bang on a bed when they're full of blood and there's dead people everywhere. Which brings me to the whole prequel thing. It's like, what the fuck did these people do? Like, who are these people? Which I'm glad we're getting a prequel, because that's pretty interesting. So that happens. They bang on the bed. And then what's her name? Maxine escapes. She leaves there while they're banging. Goes to the van, finds the guy's corpse. Keys are missing, and then she gets the pistol out of the glove box, which she forgot to mention earlier. He shows that they have a pistol in the glove box. She enters the farmhouse.
That come up earlier? I don't remember.
Yeah, you see that this guy puts a gun in the glove box. The EP guy. And then she frees Lorraine, Church Mouse. She blames Maxine for what happened. She runs out the door, and then Howard shoots that bitch with the shotgun. She fucking head just gets blown off. I guess. What happens now?
That was it.
Oh yeah, Lorraine startles Howard, and he has a heart attack and dies. That was interesting. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because like they thought she was dead, and then she came out of nowhere. And then
she came out of nowhere. And then Maxine retrieves the keys to Howard's truck. She attempts to shoot Pearl, only to discover the pistol is unloaded. Pearl tries to shoot Maxine, but she misses, and the force of the shotgun blasts Pearl out of the house.
I now realize you're just reading the Wikipedia.
I'm reading it, yeah. She breaks her hip, lands on the ground, as Pearl lies injured.
Reading Wikipedia with three idiots. I can't remember
Pearl
things.
lies injured away from the farm. The next morning, the police arrive, and they retrieve the bodies. And it also shows more of that show with the preacher.
Right.
So
and that's when they show that Maxine was the preacher's daughter. Did you say that?
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, Maxine. He's like, this is my daughter, Maxine. She's giving into the infidels, while kind of making another full circle. It was a double circle.
Guys, we have to watch movies.
Yeah, should we watch this again and then do part 2?
I mean, I suggested that in the beginning, but Jake's impatient for some reason.
It's not impatient. We just need
one
one out. We need to get we need one out today. This one's going out today.
Do it weekly.
This one's going out today.
All right. Well,
there's no need.
This one's going out today.
We should try. People listen.
Consistency is important,
and that's why we're doing it today, bro.
Oh, today's Wednesday? I thought today was Thursday. Good.
Consistency is
guys.
important.
We did it. What are you doing, Peter?
Exactly.
All right, so
if
and
some of us don't remember super clearly,
that's it.
It's fine. Everything worked out fine.
I think it was great. I love that movie.
It was a fun movie. And what I wanted to say mostly about this is that we've watched a lot of horror movies lately. We watched Jane Doe. We watched Super Beasto, which is technically like a horror comedy, and we watched this. And there's so many different types of horror movies that it's like insane how they affect you in different ways. Like they have Cinemax here on the TV here, and they've been playing like Insidious and shit like that. And
it's my favorite.
Like
that
I rewatched them.
Would you consider James Wan elevating horror in a way?
No,
I think
because
he's done good. He's done a good job with making
well,
pretty
think
good.
he's done great
He's
things.
made good
he's done
ghost
good things.
stories, but he's not elevating it in the way that like Robert Eggers
You're right.
or
No,
or
I get
Ari
what you're
Aster is,
saying.
you know what
I'm
mean?
when I'm thinking
cinematically,
of my favorite
upped it.
directors today, though, I include him in all those
Sure.
other ones
He
because
makes
he's
good
just
horror movies.
Insidious, The
this
Conjuring.
is the
Those are
thing.
some of my favorite horror movies in the past.
He makes
however
they're
many
different
years.
types. Like those are jump scare movies. This is more of like a thriller, whereas like The Witch or Midsummer or Hereditary, those are cerebral horror movies. You know what I mean? Those are horror movies that they're not really making you fucking be terrified. They're making you be like, holy shit, like if this happened to me, this would be the worst thing that could possibly happen. It's like situational. Whereas when you're watching Insidious, you're like, oh no, like what's gonna pop out of behind the fucking door?
I wouldn't
you know what I mean?
put that. I mean it, but I would. It's still just terrified. It's still putting you in situations where you're scared without things jumping out. That's what I loved about, especially The Conjuring. Is one of the best scenes in that movie. Is a girl sitting on a
Staring into
bed,
the dark.
freaking out about nothing. There's nothing
that
there.
was terrifying. But there is something there, and it's up to your imagination to decide what it is.
Yeah.
And see,
I think I put that above like the Paranormal Activity movies or like those are when you say jump scare movies, like I think all horror movies have jumps to a certain extent. But I think James Wan, if they are jump scare movies, they're certainly like of a higher level than and I'm not talking shit
You're right.
on Paranormal Activities because I enjoy those, but those movies, jump scares is the exact term, but like I consider those movies like walking through a haunted house because you're just like waiting for the next corner because something.
But also like Insidious had a lot of that too. Like what I think James Wan does really well. What I think James Wan does really, really well is his makeup effects and his ghosts and demons that he decides to use are very, very well crafted. Like they're terrifying looking. They also have great backstories.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was gonna say too.
The way that he uses them, it's kind of like the way that Ari Aster used Paimon in Hereditary. Like Paimon is an actual demon from the 7 circles of hell in the Bible, and he chose to use him for that. And I was like, that's great. Whereas the James Wan one from Insidious is based off of the lady, whatever. Yeah. She was a serial killer who dressed up like that, who ended up fucking becoming a ghost in his story, which is dope. That's awesome. I love that. Like James Wan, while I might not like his movies as much as I like Ari Aster's movies, I respect him just as well because he is really doing a good thing. And James Wan has his own style. He has his own type of music. He's got his own lighting scheme.
They're absolutely different.
His lighting scheme is very like neon noir. Like he uses a lot of red and blue lights all the time. Like it's pretty dope. Like I noticed that more when I watched it because I hadn't seen Insidious in probably like 6 or 7 years, and I was like, damn, like these movies are fucking cool, man.
Both
like,
of them
they're
are
good
really
movies.
good, and
But
they're just one long movie too.
I was about to say I didn't realize the second one literally starts when the first one ends. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, that was dope.
Right.
That was dope.
I watched that after I watched Conjuring. Got me into. Obviously, I loved Saw before that. I just didn't know who
Saw
he was
is probably
until
his
I
best
watched
movie,
Conjuring.
honestly.
I watched The
probably his best
Conjuring,
film.
and it because I feel like Jake was saying earlier, like there's just so much bullshit when it comes to horror movies in there, and it was lacking a certain something. This was one that I watched, even though it's still a little primitive in horror, in a sense of horror, of jump scares, kind of whatever. I just watched it and I saw a Conjuring. I just saw more. There was a quality to it that I noticed in the camera work. I remember there's like a few shots that I think he's does that in his movies.
Just cinematically, it was heightened.
Cinematically, it was
budget,
it was beautiful.
Acting, like it had big name actors in it. You know,
yeah, not it wasn't just bullshit throwaway actors. It wasn't like new like it was just quality all around.
Yeah,
and still a horror movie. Like
have you guys seen Dead Silence? That's my favorite James Wan movie. It's not his best by any means, but it's really,
that's the one about the puppet.
Cool. Yeah, it's about a woman who is a ventriloquist and she gets accused of killing a child. So like they murder her, like the town murders her, and then she comes back as a ghost and controls puppets. It's fucking terrifying. He made it after Saw, before The Conjuring.
I love Saw. I think Saw's great.
Yeah, Saw is his best film by far. But I also think Saw is one of the best horror movies just period because of what it accomplished and what it did for horror cinema. Like
That was another one.
7 sequels. You know what I mean?
That was another one that at the end I was like, they fucking lied to us the whole time. Like
Yeah, that
It
might
was
have been
wild.
one of the coolest endings
Reveals,
ever,
yeah.
honestly.
Game
Yeah,
over.
ever. Yeah. That was cool.
Another Carrie Elways.
Yep.
That dude gets around.
Well, have you guys
right,
seen
so-
any other Ty West movies?
I saw The Innkeepers.
Innkeepers. Okay, that one was
Yeah.
was okay.
That was fun.
Yeah,
It was fun.
He does if he picks a genre well. Like he picks a genre, sticks to like the boundaries of that kind of genre, and in a way, like this was kind of his slasher. And
Did he do
Innkeepers
Hatchet?
was kind of a ghost movie, his ghost movie.
Did he do Hatchet?
I don't know. He may have. There was a
Because
movie.
those movies are pretty popular too. But like you said
I
at the
don't
beginning, he's
think
an
so.
independent filmmaker. He's a truly
Yeah.
independent filmmaker. Like his movies don't have very big budgets. This is definitely his like biggest budget movie.
And I
He
can't
was making
find
movies
how
for like
much it-
under $1 million for a while.
Have you been
So
able to
is this
find
a
how
B
much
movie?
this is? This isn't a B movie because
I
of
don't
it. It's a large release.
I don't know what the budget of it was. Let's look.
I've tried to look.
I
it
mean,
up.
this-
It's
this has a
weird that
B-
it's
this
like,
has
it's
a
strange that I
B-movie-
can't find it. It has a B movie.
I feel like
has a
this movie
B-movie
wants to
feel,
be a
for
B
sure.
movie.
like you said,
Well, it's trying to be.
It's an homage. Going back to our words, it's an homage.
We
to
can't
to B
homage-
movies.
How
So the
that's
bo-
how much-
so it made 14.3 million. It made
Yeah.
that. So I don't know what the
Well, that's the box office, I think.
yeah
is what it
yeah
said.
yeah. But isn't that
box.
Box office is what you make, how much like sales you make. Not that's not profit.
oh okay. Well,
That's just
I mean,
total
I'm
like
just yeah.
income.
Who cares what profit?
Yeah, but
it
if
doesn't
you
really
Yeah,
matter.
no,
then
that's how
look
much
at
it
the
made.
budget, you
Yeah.
can do a little bit
Yeah.
of subtraction.
But yeah, that's how much
I
it
know
made.
for sure that this wasn't a $14 million movie. If
I
I, had
know
to
for
guess, it was
sure.
under
No.
like 3 probably.
I know for sure.
Yeah, I
I
guess,
can
like,
minus
maybe
3 million from
4 or
14.
something. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
can't
yeah,
find-
certainly own probably a few million, not many.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. They did a good job with it though. He did a good job with this. I don't know. Maybe I want to look at his other.
It was a
maybe
fun
his-
movie for
his
sure.
other-
I enjoyed this movie. I think when I saw it in the theater, I didn't know what to expect, so I really really liked it. Knowing a little bit to expect now, I liked it a little bit less because there's nothing too original about it except for the whole like reason why these people are doing what they're doing. But I think the prequel will interest me a lot more than this movie, to be honest, because
yeah,
I want to see what made Pearl become Pearl.
I will give it that. I rewatched it twice now, and I feel like it didn't keep my attention as well as it could have.
Yeah, once you see
When
it, it's kind of like
I
you
kind of know
what's
what to
up.
expect. But
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
first on a first watch, I was very like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is what's going on? Like I was certainly gripped. So it
But that's how I felt about Jane Doe too. The first time I watched Jane Doe, I was like, "What the fuck, man?" And I honestly think Jane Doe's better movie because I think the whole witch thing is just a cooler storyline and how like she was controlling everything like that. And I think, but this was a good movie.
okay.
Jane
But yeah,
Doe was
I like
wild.
that. I like that we're watching different types of horror movies. I think that's a
Yeah.
cool thing to do.
And,
Keep it
and
going.
this is definitely a director. If you want to see different types of horror movies, like explore his shit, it's pretty cool. Like how he does that, because like
Yeah.
like I said before, the devil or the House of the Devil is like an '80s babysitter movie. He has one that's like a found footage cult movie, which is pretty cool.
What's
That's
that
what
one?
I see, yeah.
That's called The Sacrament.
Ooh, that sounds cool.
It's essentially like think about like the Jonestown, like they're like the mass
Yeah.
suicide cult.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
if a documentary filmmaker went down, like a Vice style documentary filmmaker went down there to like explore what it was.
Oh, that's cool. That
So
sounds
it-
super interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like it's
What
similar
were we
to
writing
this.
about Jonestown? Didn't we write some shit about that?
We were talking about that in the short. Yeah.
But it's similar to this. He does. I've noticed this also with Ty West. He kind of like the balance of the movies. Like it's a halfway point is a build to that, and then it's kind of like this crazy finish. Like this was like the first death was almost an hour into this movie. This was an hour and 45-minute film. It was like the 55-minute
yeah.
part. So it was like once that happened, it was kind of like a switch to like, okay, now we're on the horror slasher movie. It was this like
Yeah.
interesting build of this.
It-
But
it's I wouldn't even consider this a horror movie. It's more of a thriller, honestly. It's a thriller more than a horror movie, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It
It
does
has
have horror aspects, but
It's like a
it's not really
thriller
scary.
slasher.
It's not really scary.
yeah,
more
it's
thrashing.
I think it's a thrasher at its core.
A thrasher.
Slasher.
Or a slasher. That's what I meant. But yeah,
Sure.
Thrasher. That's a good
a good
thriller
word.
slasher
Name for a
combo, yeah.
magazine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So what was your ranking, Anthony? What was your number ranking?
I didn't rig it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't rank this one. I can't accurately rank it yet.
Fair.
But we just did a whole podcast about it.
Yeah.
The fuck,
I give it
man?
a total of 6.9.
It's a good score.
Okay.
6.9 with
think I
probably
could
the
give it-
I'm gonna give it a
heaviest
6.
points being in cinematography.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
Nice.
I'm also 6.9.
Yeah,
Same.
666, baby. Hail Satan.
6.9 feels good with this. Yeah, 6.9.
Yeah,
It's
69.
perfect. Nice.
Excellent.
Cool.
All right.
Watch
cool.
this
What's
movie.
your
So it's like a
next-
mix
Hey,
between
audience, next time-
Skeleton Key, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Super 8.
Hey, audience. Next time we watch a movie, we'll pay attention better. we'll have things to say that we
Hey,
have to look up.
hey,
on.
future Anthony listening to this. Watch this movie again.
Hey, future Anthony, you should have watched this movie and then called us like an hour from now and said, "Hey, do you guys want to do the podcast?"
You can't do it an hour from now, silly
Yes,
tits.
I could have. We could have.
You
we could have
got
been doing it now.
you got a dinner reservation or
trying to
something.
meet your schedule, dog.
Yeah,
Oh my
we're doing this
God.
on
Working
your
around you.
schedule.
Oh
right
my
now. This is the
God.
whole reason.
Oh my god.
So it's all you, bro.
All right, you guys want
We
to know the
did
next
it.
pick?
Yeah.
Pick
The
my
next
nose.
pick. The next pick is a James Gandolfini, Tom Hardy vehicle called The Drop.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a crime movie, a Boston crime movie.
I like those people.
Yeah, James Gandolfini's
like
last
these
role
Who's
Last role
who-
before what? Before you retired?
before he died.
What?
who directed it?
Some guy with a European name,
Not Jan de Bont.
not Jan de Bont.
Sick.
Shit.
It's called The Drop. It's a good movie. It's like a 2015 movie.
2015. That's a futuristic movie.
Yeah, futuristic movie. It's good. It's really good.
Cool.
Fun.
We'll try to get it out on time.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll just have you tell me what it's about.
Yeah, it'll go great.
All right, watch The Drop on Yonder Bond. Thanks for listening to Make Me Watch Movies.